This is Jaron Phillips, Solution Architect at Telestream. Today we're looking at DIVA. DIVA is a content management system where you can archive content. You can take a quick look at your content, see how many files it has, how many copies it has, whether they're on disk, tape, or cloud, see the last time your company utilized those assets. Today we're going over the Vantage integration. So we're going over this workflow actions. DIVA is now tightly integrated with Vantage, and you can add Vantage actions to DIVA. So just a quick example of how we configure one of those. We're going to be talking to a specific Vantage engine. DIVA is aware of all the categories. Any workflow you want to add, DIVA is aware of that. And it's also aware of any variables that workflow may be expecting. So just a quick example of how it works. We're going to go look at one of my objects here. This is me giving a tour of our booth here at NAB. You can see I have some metadata here that describes what this clip is about. So the way I generated this is I said, send to Vantage AI speech. I'll just do one of these now. I'm going to be triggering this Vantage workflow directly from DIVA, and it's going to run through this Vantage workflow and generate metadata that it will then inject back into DIVA. So what this looks like when it's finished, I have a summary from that AI speech action. I have segments describing what the first minute of content is about. It detects profanity, it flags profanity, it shows me the transcript of what this segment has in it. It also inserts markers. I have some red markers where profanity is. I have some white markers where profanity is. I have some other workflows I can send this to, some qualification rules, alpha detection. So that is also injected in this asset. So you can see I've run this one through the qualify action. Let's do this alpha detection one really quick. This will update this metadata field after the Vantage workflow runs, so we can go check that out. So DIVA just submitted this job to Vantage. It'll run this analyzation, and if alpha is detected, it will say yes or no. So I should have this updated now. We'll look at that object. And there we go. Alpha detection false, last checked today at 4 o'clock. This is just a quick example of the new DIVA to Vantage integration. It's really awesome. You should come check us out at NAB 2025 West Hall 1501.
Hi, I'm Erik Zindulka, Senior Sales Engineer at Telestream, dedicated to the Vantage ecosystem. And I'll be showing you some of the things we're demonstrating at the NAB booth this year. This workflow here takes advantage of our relatively new iconik connector for ingesting directly into the MAM, as well as our AI speech service, which is a new demonstration that we're showing, Qualify on-prem, which will run file-based QC, Stanza, which will produce extremely accurate automated closed captioning, and Flip64 for the mezzanine and proxy transcoding. All of the outputs from these combined services, which are performed on-prem on the Lightspeed server, are then ingested into the iconik MAM automatically. The result of a single job running here produces an asset in iconik, which has metadata, so Telestream, NAB 2025, time-based metadata, which is the result of our AI service. So you can see this is describing what's discussed in this clip. I chose to run minute-long segments, so I have a summary of every minute throughout this file. And in addition to a summary of what was discussed, we also have a scene sentiment, which is determined from analyzing the transcript. Along with that, we have closed captioning from the Stanza service, which is high-quality captions, and a QC report attached to the asset directly, as well as an established relationship to a QC report in a sub-collection dedicated to QC reports. So if I click that, we can hop over. Users can review the QC report for the ingested asset. They can also flip right back to the original based on that relationship and be looking at their content. Please stop by in the West Hall, booth 1501, and see this among many other things we're demonstrating here at Telestream.